explain top 10 machine and deep learning algorithms. So we are exploring the applications and insights of machine learning algorithms. So these are the top 10 algorithms, very, very important. So machine and deep learning is nothing but learning from the observational data with the help of supervised and unsupervised and reinforcement learning. We are solving the classification, regression, clustering, association rule mining, outlier detection that comes under machine learning algorithms. Whereas deep learning algorithms is nothing but it is extension of machine learning algorithms, and we are solving the problems like number of hidden layers, number of input layers. We are increasing with the fine tuning parameters with the activation function. We are solving complex problems is called deep learning algorithms. So today, top 10 algorithms we are explaining. A random forest is a number one algorithm. Keep in mind, Ramchand, it is very powerful technique under classification. So the aim is to create a dependable ensemble model capable of predicting PFAS presence in complex data sets. You know, PFAS is nothing but groundwater contaminants. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And methods like builds multiple decision trees during training and aggregates their predictions. So we are using for classification, prediction like classification, regression, clustering, association rule mining, outlier detection. What we are findings demonstrated high accuracy in detecting PFAS hotspots in groundwater data. Explanation uh, combines decision trees. Decision tree is a classification technique. The root node consists of left child and right child. The root node decides which way you would like to classify the data. Left side and right side, it can decide it. So that's why it combines the decision trees outputs to handle complex data sets and avoid overfitting concept. Diagram, the structure of random forest algorithm we are solving like this one. See here, training set we are taking as a 75% of a training set, and 25% of a testing set we are performing. We are performing training decision tree 1, training decision true, training data n sample decision tree n. Then we are voting, averaging, then finally we are prediction. That means random forest is one of the classification and ensemble of decision trees. Based on the decision trees, random forest algorithm will works, where each tree is trained on a random subset of data, and the final prediction is made by aggregating the outputs of all the trees for enhanced accuracy and robustness. Then we are going for support vector machine. Okay. So in this support vector machine is a classification technique and clustering techniques and outlier detection, and so many techniques we are using under this one. Okay.
Sir, is
And
this the example is, trying to find the, trying to find the, I think the wine thing based on the acidity level,
yes,
sugar level.
correct, correct. We
Okay,
can
okay.
do this support vector machine.
Okay.
It classifies the PFAS. PFAS means it is one of the contaminants in groundwater and soil data. And uncontaminated samples by identifying an optimal hyperplane. Methods like separates data into classes using a decision boundary with the maximum margin. Then margin. Findings like accurately classified contaminated samples in PFAS related studies with a high precision. So what is the explanation of support vector machine? Effective for classification tasks involving complex environmental data sets. What is a diagram structure of support vector machine we are using? Then this is the structure of support vector machine. Like we have vectors in a hyperplane like x1, x2, x3, xn and then support vector. Then we are following optimization parameters with RBF, linear, polynomial or sigmoid. These are the activation functions. Then finally we are combining with the various parameters, fine tuning parameters. Finally we are predicting predicted variable. That means support vector machine involves identifying the optimal hyperplane in a high dimensional space that separates data points into distinct classes with the maximum margin and ensuring precise classification. Then what about a decision tree? Decision tree is one of the classification technique to classify environmental data by splitting it into subsets based on key attributes. Methods creates a hierarchical model that divides data into branches based on feature values. So what we are finding with this decision tree, prioritized groundwater testing for PFAS by identifying high risk areas. So we don't know in my groundwater data what type of contaminants are there. I am applying decision tree. So it a transparent and interdisciplinary interpretable method for efficient resource allocation. Then structure of decision tree. This is a structure of decision tree. See here. Decision tree is a root node followed by the decision tree and decision tree. So left side decision tree, we are having leaf node and leaf node. Right side we are having decision tree like leaf node, decision node. Again we are describing a decision node like leaf node and leaf node. That means decision tree is a hierarchical model that splits data into subsets based on feature values using branches to represent a decision and leaves to denote outcomes, enabling straightforward classification and Gaussian regression tasks. That means support vector mission plays a vital role. Coming to neural networks is one of the classification techniques, and we are eliminating the noisy data, inconsistent data, redundant data. What is the aim of the neural networks? To detect patterns in the PFAS contamination data and provide improved production accuracy. Methods like processes data through interconnected neurons across multiple layers, finding identified PFAS, defluorination mechanisms aiding in treatment process. What is the explanation? It captures the intricate relationships in data, making it suitable for a PFAS analysis. Diagram structure of neural networks. See here, the diagram indicates three layers like input layer, hidden layer, output layer. Input layer we are having 3 and 5, and 3 and 5 we are extending to hidden layers with the help of arrow, with the help of from 3 to remaining functions like input layers, hidden layers, more hidden layers and an output layer where each neuron process and transfers information to predict complex patterns and relationships in data. Hidden layer consists of both features of input layer, and here we are performing fine tuning parameters. Then the fifth technique is a convolutional neural networks. It is a CNN technique. And we are performing CNN. It is based on neural networks and classification techniques. The aim of CNN is nothing but to analyze spatial contamination patterns using convolutional filters. That means we have a perfect data set on analyzed spatial contamination patterns. What we are doing, we are identifying such type of unlabeled data. We are performing processes image like data through convolutional layers to identify spatial relationships. Findings demonstrate the potential for detecting contamination hotspots in PFAS spatial data. Explanation, we are excelling at handling spatial data like contamination maps for environmental monitoring. Structure of convolutional networks. I have taken example for uh, known techniques only. This is the diagram of and structure of convolutional neural networks, that is called CNN. We have a raw material like input data with number of images. Then we are performing convolution one operation, 5 by 5 kernel validate a padding. Then we are sending to max pooling. Then again convolutional 5 by 5 kernel valid pattern padding. Then we are performing max pooling, fully connected networking ReLU activation function, fully connected neural networks. That means CNN, it includes convolutional layers with filters, for feature extraction, pooling layers, for dimensionality reduction and fully connected layers, for classification or prediction, making them highly effective for image and spatial data analysis. So convolutional neural network is one of the best technique under machine and deep learning techniques. Ramchand, any doubt? Please ask me.
No, sir, fine, sir.
Yeah, recurrent neural network, it is extension of CNN. The aim to identify temporal patterns. What is pattern? Pattern is a model. What is model?
Simplified
Model is a
version of
simple
reality.
of the reality. Any suppose Ramchand every week is going to supermarket, is purchasing bread and jam. Manager identified Ramchand every week is purchasing bread and jam. That background story he don't want. What type of items you are purchasing, that is matter. So based on your opinion, based on your behavior, is increasing sales. That's why we are using methods like process sequential data while retaining information from previous time steps. What we are finding could enhance predictions of PFAS trends over time in environmental data sets. Explanation, effective for time series analysis to track, you can call it as uh, in environment data says effective time series analysis to track communication changes. What is the structure of recurrent neural networks? See this diagram. So input layer and hidden layer and output layer, we are classifying the data. It consists of interconnected neurons that process sequential data. What is neuron? Neuron is a biological term and it mimics
The
and
human brain.
membrane, yeah, mimicking like a brain that performs the process of sequential data, retaining information from previous time steps through feedback loops, making them suitable tasks involving temporal dependencies and time series analysis. Then long short-term memory is nothing but LSTM to model the long-term dependencies in PFAS contamination to series data. Methods like uses memory cells to retain long-term information and avoid vanishing gradient problems. Then findings enables precise predictions of long-term contamination trends. Explanation ideal for capturing long-term patterns in sequential environmental data sets. Diagram structure of long short-term memory networks. The structure is look like meteorological data with the previous PN data, that is called input layer. Then a long short-term memory layer 1, long short-term memory layer 2, long short-term memory layer 3. Finally, we are getting output. That means we have a memory cells, we have a input data set, we have output data set, and forget gates that regulate the flow of information, enabling the network to capture long-term dependencies and overcome the vanishing gradient problem in sequential data. Then coming to eighth technique, autoencoders. To reduce the complexity of PFAS data sets and generate synthetic data for model training, methods like compresses input data into a lower dimensional form and reconstructs it. Findings is nothing but can address data shortages by generating realistic synthetic data sets. We are explanation about autoencoder simplifies large data sets while preserving essential features for analysis. What is the structure of autoencoder? We have input layer, decoder, hidden layer, decoder, output layer. Autoencoders consist of an encoder that depresses into data into a latent representation and a decoder that reconstructs the original data, enabling dimensionality reduction and feature extraction. This is the generative adversarial networks. This is the but one last topic before end topic. Generative adversarial network is one of the extended artificial intelligence technique, and I would like to explain one of the Japan scientist has been invented Q. So how that machine and intelligence system works based on behavior of the students. Okay, so my over the period how facial expression is changing 1 year, 2 year, fifth year, 10th, 15, 20, 25, 30. Likewise, based on the GAN networks, we are performing such type of applications. If it is filled, we are going for you can call it as data frame 0, data frame 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So it enhances the predictive models by addressing the data scarcity issues. Methods we are using a generator and a discriminator. These are the two powerful network functions to improve data quality. Structure of generative adversarial networks. Structure of data, you can call it as we have recommend a random input and generator and real image sample and discriminator. So discriminator is generator loss and generator discriminator loss. So that's why two neural networks we are using. One is a generator neural networks that creates a synthetic data and a discriminator that evaluates its authenticity, working adversarially to produce realistic data representation. That is about the generative adversarial network system. The last one is a top 10 algorithms about clustering algorithms. What is meant by clustering, Ramchand? How can you define clustering?
Clustering, I mean, group of data with
Correct.
similarities. Let's say, for
Correct.
example, if I take student as example, some students will score 75 to 100, some will score 65 to 75. and some will score, let's say, 55 to 65. So I have three clusters.
Correct.
And again, when we go inside these ranges, so I can again further cluster into boys scored this much percentage and girls scored this much
Correct.
percentage in each cluster.
Perfect. Perfect answer.
So the
Clustering means
yeah, the expansion for DB scan is density-based spatial
hmm,
clustering for applications with noise.
perfect, Ramchand. You are now up to the mark. Clustering means group of objects that objects having similar behavior in the nature. That is called clustering. We have popular clustering techniques like k-means and DB scan to group data points and identify contamination patterns in PFAS datasets. What are the methods we are using? Group similar data points into clusters based on shared characteristics. Findings identified contamination hotspots and high risk areas in PFAS contaminate PFAS monitoring. Explanation effective for discovering hidden structures in unlabeled environmental data. The structure of clustering algorithms we are using. This is the structure of cluster algorithms. Here, cluster is a group of objects that objects having similar behavior. We have noise point, core point, border point, and minimum points is 3. So it organizes data points into groups based on their similarity behavior in the nature, where K means partitions data into a predefined number of clusters, and DBscan identifies clusters based on the density of points, effectively uncovering hidden patterns in unlabeled data. That means we have n number of clustering algorithms. So with this one, top 10 algorithms of machine and deep learning is over, Ramchan.
Yes, sir.
How much time I have taken? Can you explain from machine learning onwards so that I want to listen whether you are able to speak properly or not with your own sentences.
Okay, so
Can I?
so when we talk about machine learning is a subset of
Yeah.
artificial
Please
intelligence.
go to your slides and share your slides and you can explain.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Same recording session only, you can continue.
Okay, sir. Let me
So my
just.
recording session is gone. I'm expecting from you today.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah, you can share your screen so that I am. 1 second. I'm closing my stop. I'm stopping my screen. Now you can share. Yeah, perfect. It is coming.
Yeah, 1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'll take the PPT, sir.
Yeah, no problem. I have sent recently
Yes,
same
sir. Yes, sir.
PPT.
I
You can
downloaded.
take.
I downloaded.
Yeah. Today also I have updated. I will send you later. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Okay.
My students, 10 members, anyone joined today? No? I
No,
have
sir.
forwarded. It's
No, sir.
okay, no problem.
Just a minute.
No problem. You can share your screen and
I'm
explain.
just opening the slides. Yeah, it is here.
Yeah, tell me. Still, I'm waiting for my PR. It has to come night. Right now, I don't know. I'm crying every day.
Okay, sir.
I don't know how much time it takes. It's okay. Please share your screen. Can you explain from any topic? No problem.
Uh, so first I
You
will
can
say first I will say the definition for machine learning.
correct.
So machine learning is the subset of artificial intelligence. So basically,
Perfect.
machine learning is all about trying to identify the pattern based on the data. So when I say machine learning, it can be I mean, it
One
can be
second,
said in.
Ramchan. My daughter is calling. One
Okay, sir.
second. Hello.